This past Sunday, Christy and I went to a local bike shop. We were looking for basic bikes that we could ride around the neighborhood and city. We have road bikes that we take on longer and faster rides, but we were just looking for something we could use around the city to go to the grocery store and pick up a few things like that. So we found this local bike shop we had never been to before, and it was a tremendous gift to discover it. As is often the case in my experience, when you find people who are passionate about like a certain hobby or a cause, you really find a very lively and vibrant community. And that was the case in this bike shop. There were 3 employees there who were so friendly, so helpful, so knowledgeable, so funny, and so honest with Christy and me as we were trying to discern which bikes would best suit us and fit us the best, and all that goes along with that. We also encountered a 4th person in the bike shop who didn't work there, but I think this was his home away from home, and he was just a riot. He was so hilarious and so wonderful to be around. I learned quickly that he has 2 passions in life, cycling and rock climbing. And when you look at his physique, you'd think that that's probably all he does when he's not sitting in that bike shop. He's cycling or rock climbing. I asked him, I'm like, where do you like to cycle? And he just looked at me, he's like, everywhere, man. And I said, where do you like to rock climb? And he said, everywhere, man. And he went off telling me all of these adventures he's had all over the world, cycling and climbing, and there was so much laughter. Christy and I were there so much longer than we needed to be, but it was such a delight. And when we left the bike shop, we both talked about how beautiful it was to be around people who are so passionate about something. In this case, this gentleman so passionate about cycling and rock climbing and finding in both such deep wells of life and renewal and refreshment. Psalm 36 is a psalm that acknowledges on one hand how incredibly broken the world is. But on the other hand, in verse 9, celebrates the gift that in the midst of that broken world, there are divine wells of life dug all over the place. And what a gift it is to discover those wells of life in the midst of a broken world. And then that is a holy invitation for us to pause and pray today, reflecting on where we go, where we find those wells of life that we come back to again and again to draw from, to be refreshed and renewed. Maybe those wells for us are passions like cycling or rock climbing or going to a CrossFit gym. Or maybe they're passions like reading or playing an instrument. Or maybe it's reconnecting with a friend. One of those relationships where you pick up right where you left off, even if you haven't seen one another for quite some time. And ultimately celebrate, just as the psalmist of Psalm 36 did, that in the midst of a broken world, there are countless wells that are deep and divine, just waiting for us to come and draw deeply from. God's peace and blessings to you all.